Welcome everyone to the I'll Be Living Life podcast. If you like the content, kindly hit the subscribe, like, and notification buttons. Today's special guest is Janell. She's an Instagrammer as well, and she goes by JanellKingstover. Welcome to the show, Janell.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, no problems. Thank you for joining me. So one thing I notice about all your photos, like I notice you take a look up at the sky a lot. And it's kind of funny because I'm not going to give your email away, but it's kind of like clouds, right? And
Indeed, yes.
yeah, and I'm a big fan of clouds. So a lot of my photos, I love to like just put in clouds into the photo, and it just gives it that much more, you know?
Yes, it does. It's an added extra interest.
Yes, there's certain people that are out there that take a lot of cloud photos. Like, there's also another Instagram follower of mine, and we've kind of been following each other, Jeanette, and she's another one that takes a lot of cloud photos. And yeah, it's kind of cool because you look up and it just gives you a different perspective of the photo, right?
Yes.
Yes,
it does.
And I think it's kind of neat that, you showcase, you're from Cali, and it kind of showcases a lot of the California sun and the sunsets and all that stuff and how the cloud form and stuff like that. So I've always kind of looked at your photos that way.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, no, you're welcome.
I'm infatuated by them. Literally. I mean, I'm always looking up, always. And I'll just be driving to, coming out of the store and driving home. And I'm like, oh, my goodness, I'll pull over, and
Yes.
That's how I do it,
Yeah. And I get like that too. Same thing. It's kind of like you're driving along the street and then you're like, holy crap.
Exactly.
Right?
But you have to pay attention,
Yeah.
and a lot of people just are driving and, nobody ever hardly looks up. And it's like, you would look what you're missing.
Yeah, you're
Incredible.
absolutely
How could you
right.
miss this?
Yeah, so I'm always looking up, and I feel that this generation nowadays, maybe I'm a bit older, but everybody's got their head facing down, looking at their
In
phones.
their phone.
Yeah, and they're not enjoying life, or they're not seeing what's actually in front of them. So, it's kind of my advice to others to always look up because you don't know what you're missing. And sometimes
That's right.
it's a simple sky, or it could be somebody walking by, or it could be anything, right? So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I always tell people it's not going to blow horns and announce it's here.
no, exactly.
You do have to go find it.
Yeah. Okay, so a lot of the times I showcase a lot of my guests that are on the show. I kind of like to talk about a few of my favorite pics of theirs. So let's start with December 4th of 2020. And this is a picture in Maui. And it looks like you got a shot of a tree and then the cloud formation in the background. Now, how was
Yes.
your take on that day, and why did you decide to take that shot, and what drew you to it?
Well, I love Maui, and we were going it was my third time there, second time with my husband. We just went out for a walk. It was like maybe our first night or second night there. And we thought we'd walk at night and go down and just kind of hang out by the ocean at nighttime, just to be a little different. And on our way, we came up, it was all grass. It was like a grassy, and then there was like this knoll, and you had to go up. We came up over, there it was. And it was like, oh. And I made my husband stop so he wouldn't get in front of my shot.
Yeah.
Stop, I gotta take a picture. This is amazing. And I thought, to me, I guess the way it's shaped and everything, it reminded me of those pictures in Africa where they have
Yeah.
just trees,
Yeah.
and then the clouds and everything. And I'm like, wow, this couldn't be more perfect if I set it up.
With this shot, I love the shade of the tree and how it actually makes it look a little bit more powerful then, like it's got the heavy
Yes.
top and the darkness of it because of the clouds behind, and there was really no like predominant sun shining through it. So I thought that it was really like a nice little capture there. Yeah, definitely.
I'm so glad you liked it. It's personal to me because of how it happened and everything. I guess, a lot of these are kind of like my babies and
Yeah.
personal story to everything.
And it's kind of cool because when you take a picture, you kind of actually remember those moments, right?
Absolutely.
And it's so strange because like you remember a lot of moments in your life, but then once you put a picture to you, you can kind of remember exactly what we were doing that day, how we approached that, that picture or that
How you
shot,
felt.
how you felt. And it's to me, photography is like a universal language almost.
I agree.
And it's so cool because I'm in touch with people around the world, like
Me too.
Australia, India, anywhere from Europe and America, all over America. It's kind of cool. Like we can
It is.
speak in so many different languages, and Poland, Russia, and I've have
Yes.
thousands of people liking my photos and commenting, but yet we have that commonality of just looking at a photo, and we could feel the same thing. So I think it's
Yes,
kind of
and
a
just
really
seeing
cool
that
thing.
beauty.
Yeah, yeah, it's a nice
Agreed.
universal language. That's
Yeah.
my interpretation, anyways.
I agree with you wholeheartedly
Yeah.
because it's not something that anybody else wouldn't feel,
Yes,
and you could say a million things, but if someone sees this picture, they're going to feel a million things that
that's right.
wouldn't
Yeah.
have been able to understand you saying.
And it could be interpreted in different meanings, right? Like everybody
Sure.
else will have a different opinion of it. Like it's just like art, right?
Absolutely.
It's some shape or form of art, anyways.
Yes.
Yeah. So your next photo is February 8th. This looks like you got a tree and a sunset going in the background.
Yes.
And yeah, go ahead and talk about that one a little bit. It says a Joshua
This-
tree stands tall.
Yes. This was actually another one of those. I'd been out on errands and I was about maybe 10 minutes away from home. I'm coming down this long street, a lot of our streets, because it's all flat out here in the high desert. And a lot of the streets are really long, and especially if you go way out to the west side. And I was coming down that street, and all of a sudden I saw this gorgeous sunset. And when I pulled over, there was this great big Joshua tree, and I had to walk to it like maybe, I don't know, 50 feet maybe. And so I just walked down there and got that shot before it got too dark because I was trying to get it before the sun went past the bottom. But I just happened to get there right at the right time.
Yeah.
And it kind of symbolizes home to us because we're known for Joshua trees.
Yeah.
It's something that again is personal to me because when someone looks at it, especially like here, they're that I know where that is. That tree. I love it, and people
Yeah.
from places that have moved and they'll see my picture and they used to live out here. They'd say, "Oh, thank you for that memory. I remember those."
Yeah. And that's something that I can kind of tell other Instagrammers or people that are taking photos. It's really nice to put like an object in front of something like that. Sometimes it clear, like I don't know about you, but I take well, no, I wouldn't say hundreds, but I would take 5 or 10 shots of the same thing, and then hope for hopefully I can capture the moment that I can see with my eye, right?
Yes.
And that's kind of where this picture goes, where you can put something in the forefront. Maybe you can move away from the tree and then just grab the sunset. Like I would try different kind of things to capture this
Sure.
moment, but you hit it with the putting that tree in the forefront, because it plays that darkness with it, and then it's got the sun setting in the background, so it gives it that really kind of like, I feel like it's more of an artsy look to it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So
I
you-
felt that way too because of just how dark it was and how it was, it has all these different shapes and I just thought that's it. It just couldn't be more perfect.
Yeah, and you left the sunset in the middle, so perfect.
Good, thank you.
That's great. Yep. So then the next shot, again, it's similar to the last one there, and that's on February 26th. And you have a tree with a beautiful sunset, and then you have the pathway to the tree. So
Yes.
I love that shot. And you got the little tree off to the right, and you got some, the leaving off the left there. But I love the way that this is set up, like where the pathway leads to the tree, and then the sunset's off to the right. So I think that's a really great shot.
We were stopping with some friends to see my girlfriend's sister. And there's a place there where you can camp. I said, I want to go down to the beach. I've got to. I can't get this
Yeah.
close enough to the ocean. And so they said, oh, well, there's a walkway over there. And when I looked, see that the sun was about ready to go down past that hill,
Yeah.
and I could see that the pathway was like lit up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's too cool. So I ran all the way from where I was to that point, and then took several different shots, some,
Yep.
off to the side and towards it and stuff like that, but until it went down. Thought it was so pretty, and I thought, I hope somebody likes this because I love it.
Is there somebody like walking in the background there?
Yes, there is I think it was just this guy that was just kind of walking.
Yeah.
And I don't always get people in my shot, and I could have waited for him to go away.
No, actually, it was kind of cool, but
Liked him.
yeah,
Yeah, I kind of liked him there.
I think it would have been nice if he was in the middle of that sun.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would
that
have been perfect.
that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, it sure would have.
Yeah.
I didn't even occur to me. I was just trying. I didn't even notice he was there until after I pulled up the pictures.
Yeah.
Because I was so focused on getting the right shot down the center of the walkway.
Yeah. Not that it's not a perfect shot. I think it's a really good shot. Actually.
No, but you're so right though. If I had noticed him and been able to get him in the center, that would have been a coup.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great shot. But yeah, that would have been
Thanks.
pretty neat. It would have made it look a little different. That's all.
Indeed, yes, it sure would.
Yeah.
As it is, he's like right on the edge of the ring of the sun.
Yeah. So the last picture we're going to talk about is on April 30th, and that's at Ventura Beach in California.
Yes.
You got a couple surfers there, and you have the ocean coming in, and I think that's a pretty clean shot. So yeah, go and talk about that one a little bit.
Well, I love Ventura Beach. I go there whenever I can. It's calm. There's not a million people there, but the surfers are always around. I guess part of me, I used to scuba dive, and part of me wishes that I would have learned how to surf, but I'm kind of a big wussy when it comes to cold water.
Yeah.
And, and I always scuba dived in Hawaii.
Oh,
Because it's so warm. And so I just never, and I've never really lived next to the ocean, and it would have been a trek
yeah.
every time I wanted to do it, so I just never did it. So part of me, it gets a thrill from what they do, and I kind of live vicariously through them.
Yeah.
When I see them walking on the beach, coming in or out of the ocean, and it's such a passion for them, like me taking pictures of clouds, and I get it. I get that passion.
Yeah. So no, great shots. Keep up your pictures, and keep up looking at the skies and all that stuff. So good
I
for you.
promise.
Yeah.
I'll never get tired of that, no matter how old I am.
Yeah. So another thing. So do you have any questions for me?
Yes. One of the questions I wanted to ask you was, I use hashtags, of course, because that's what people told me to do
Yep.
when I started getting on, use hashtags. But the problem is that I shoot a lot of the same kind of things.
Yeah.
So my hashtags always say cloud, sky, sun, sunset, cloudy day.
Yeah.
They're all the same thing, and I know I should switch them up, but I don't know what else to say about them.
So just by going through your pictures, I can tell you right now, if you're using different hashtags, you're going to get a lot more likes for your pictures. Just because I know some of your pictures are pretty good quality, and a lot of people like seeing the cloud formations, and you get the people that are just totally into clouds, right, and totally into skies, right?
Yes.
Those are going to be the ones that you're going to build on. So
Like Insta Sky and
yeah.
Insta Cloud. See, I put those too.
Yeah, so
And-
my rule of thumb was always to say do about 26 medium hashtags. And 26 medium hashtags is anywhere from, I would say, anywhere from 100,000 posts to about 1 million posts. Those are kind of the medium style ones. And then you want two big ones. So two large ones, which mean you can have them anywhere from 1 million posts to, and when I say large and big, I mean 1 million to 2 million. I don't mean
Okay.
like something crazy up there. And I'll
Like 4
explain.
million.
Yeah, and I'll explain it to you like as I'm talking here. And then there's two smaller ones where you use anywhere from 75,000 to as low as about 20,000 posts. So those are two small ones. So you use two small ones, 26 medium ones, and then two large ones.
Oh, okay.
The reason why you want to stay away from the huge, ginormous ones, such as like here you got one under the name hashtag clouds, right? So
Right.
you actually, if you look in the clouds hashtag, there's 120 million posts on that. So for you to
Wow.
fall in that category of somebody seeing your photo is
The
probably
odds go down.
super slim
Right.
because the amount of photos that are going through there, like you're talking 120 million posts, right? So every day it's going to be 300,000 posts in a day. So
Wow.
it could be your picture will be in and out within a second. Unless you get fortunate enough that they'll pick you up and then put there in their top 20. And if they put you in their top 20, then you're laughing. Then you're actually going to get more likes on it. So you want to get into their top 20 and you don't want to fall off that hashtag. The reason why you're using that hashtag is because you want to fall on their page so more people can see it. So if you use a larger hashtag such as clouds or sky's got 240 million posts.
Oh,
So
wow.
even
I don't
double.
even know how to find that out. How do you even?
Yeah, so go into your like your last picture of Waterford, Ireland there, and you hit your hashtags. So your clouds, hashtag clouds is 120 million posts. It tells you right
Ooh,
after you hit it. And then if you hit sky, it'll tell you sky painters is 4.5 million posts. So,
wow.
so if you use like, and then sky porn is 28.8 million posts. So,
I can't
all.
even imagine that much. So,
Yeah. And then you got Insta Sky Lovers, which is 125,000 posts. That's a perfect one. Because
okay.
that's what I would use as kind of a medium style one. So you want to look
Okay.
at 26 of these. So the way to find them is you would go into your search and then you type up sky. So you just hit sky and then you hit tags and then you'll see all the amount of posts underneath each hashtag. So
Oh,
Sky Snappers would be 726,000 posts. That's a good one. Skyscapes is 256,000 posts. That's a good one. That's considered medium, right? Skywatchers,
right.
116,000 posts. That's a good one. And you just kind of keep going down the list. And
Oh,
then when you look at stuff like, Sky Painters, that's 4.5 million. You may want to use that as one of your large ones. Then there's Sky High, which is HI but not HIGH. That's
oh,
106,000. If you keep going down, you'll kind of see all the posts for it. Like Sky Brilliance is another one, 107,000, right? Sky Instagram, that works because it's 289,000 posts and it's about skies.
oh, oh. I've never
So
even heard of that one.
so
Okay.
if you go to tags, you will see them all if you just type in sky. It'll tell you all those hashtags.
You're so smart. Okay.
And
Thank you. I
yeah,
appreciate you
and
telling me that.
I don't know if it's just being smart or just being on my Instagram for years and years, or well, not years and years. I've been on it for 3 years now, but I worked super hard at this for the very first year, and I was kind of like dissecting it all, like to see actually how I can grow. So that's
Oh,
kind of.
see, I should have done that. I didn't. I didn't. I've been on Instagram probably for 6 years or
Oh yeah, okay,
more.
yeah,
I guess. I guess because I'm retired. I'm
yeah,
63.
yeah,
And I was doing this because I just really wanted a place where because I don't sell them per se.
yeah,
I've had a lot of people want to buy things, but I
yeah.
don't really sell them. And I've had people say to me that I should look into doing certain things, but they're kind of mundane, normal things that I saw everybody else do,
Yeah.
and I never looked past that.
Yeah,
Really.
it's kind of a trick because you like I don't know I was really dedicated to this building my Instagram for the very first year, I don't know. It was all something that I did after work, and I knew that I was going to just keep trying to build and build and see what I can do with it, right? And
Yes.
I found little tricks along the way where it's like, okay, you can research it by this way, you can do this by, actually, I did an episode on this, as I was mentioning to you earlier. I did an
I'm
episode.
definitely going to go
Yeah.
look back at that.
So I did an episode on this and how to build your Instagram, and that was just on about a month ago. And it says how to build your Instagram tips such as hashtags and all that. I kind of break it down for everybody to understand. So I talk about hashtags. I talk about how to make your photos pop. I tell you, what's a good time to post and all that stuff. Who to follow, who not to follow, and stuff like that. Right.
Oh, that's wonderful information. I'll bet a lot of people would like to have that.
For me to start this podcast right now, it's more to pay back and to get and kind of showcase talented people like yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's nice to help, and that's why I always ask that question, like, do you have something to ask me? Because if I can help you in any way, I will. So
That's the biggest thing for me is because I just got so stuck and had no idea how to get out of the hole, you know?
yeah, well, you're not really in a hole, but if you put down like cloud, and you could find a lot of hashtags with cloud. So you can do Clouds Media. So Clouds Media is a really small one. It's
I've
66,000
never heard of that
posts.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you could do these searches on your own. You go in that magnifying glass and then you just type in
Yes.
cloud. Then it's going to break it all down, hit it tags, and then it's going to go down to all the ones that you should be using or all the available hashtags that are out there. I would just kind of break it down and take a look at the ones that are, not so high, right? So
Right.
if you go, for instance, it says Clouds of Instagram. That's got 546,000 posts. That's a great medium one to use.
Oh, yeah, I like that one.
So what I would do in your case, I would grab a list of these, like maybe grab like 60 of them, right? Interchange them. So change them up every second post or third post. And the best thing to do is go into your photo, say for instance your most recent post, right?
Right.
You see your post and you go, okay, I'm going to look at my picture. I'm going to say, what do I got here? And your first hashtag is clouds. So you hit clouds and then you search down your list, search down the list of the posts there to see if your photo's on there. If it's not on there, that means they're not promoting you.
Ah.
So give it about 3 posts or 4 posts. And if you don't see your picture on there after the first hour of you posting it, then get out of there. Like, don't use it
Okay.
again. Okay. And
Okay.
especially with these high ones, these 240 million, 120 million, even the 10 million, 5 million ones, I wouldn't use those. I wouldn't use those hashtags. Like I said, stick to the rule of thumb where you're using 2 large ones between 1 to 2 million, and then 26 of them around the medium range, which is around 100,000 to roughly about 750,000 or a million, and then 2 small ones at about 20,000 to about 100,000. And
Okay.
if you stick to that rule of thumb, you'll probably end up starting to grow. And that goes with other things too. So you would go into those hashtags, and if you see a photo that's somewhat similar to yours, start looking at who likes those photos. So if they like that photo and you're like, well, that photo is close to my photo, it kind of resembles the same thing, start liking their stuff. And I guarantee you the people that are liking that photo, they'll start following you as well. Or some of them will start following you as well because it's a similar photo. So if they like that photo, they should like your photo.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
it's kind of like I said, I broke it all down about a month ago. Like, so just go on my YouTube and check it out. And
I definitely will.
yeah, and Alma helped me, one of my followers and who I follow as well. She helped me jump on that show, and we both kind of give our little tips here and there. So definitely check it
Oh,
out.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've always loved your photos.
Oh, thank you.
You know, I'm very impressed.
Oh, thank you so
And
much.
I wouldn't stop following you for anything.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's very
I
kind
want to
of
see
you.
more.
Yeah, I try to post a few times, like 3 times a week. So I sometimes I run out of stuff, but yeah, I'm always on there.
Yeah, I usually post like once a day.
Yeah,
But if I'm having like a super hard day or I'm just
Then you
busy
wait for the next day, right?
the word go, I'll just wait
Yeah.
until the next day.
Yep. And
I don't want to rush it and
no,
put
and
up something stupid.
and as soon as you kind of get a little bit more followers, and then you can kind of scale back a little bit. But at the beginning, I strongly suggest that everybody posts at least one picture a day.
Yeah.
And then that's what I did for a whole year. I did 7 days a week, and then the second year I kind of went 5 days a week, so I cut out my weekends.
Ah.
And then now on my third year, I started going 3 times a week.
Oh, okay.
So I'm only doing Monday, Wednesday, Fridays now.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, and that's as low as I'm going to
Good
cut
advice.
it. Yeah, just because you need some engagement out there, you need to be still out there just to make sure that people still know that you're there.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a good thing to just keep frequent. And for me, 100%, and I'll say this to anyone that asks me, is engagement, engagement, engagement. So if someone comments on your photo, make sure you reply back.
I always do because, I mean, there was a couple of times where I accidentally forgot one or something.
Yeah, same here.
But
Yeah,
because it came in later or something and I just didn't know.
yeah,
But my thought is if someone's kind enough to send me a comment, then it would be rude of me to not reply to them.
absolutely.
So I just would never do that because it's just not cool.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, that's it. But I thank you for joining my show. And it's, if nobody's following you or none of my followers are following you, please give you a follow. And again, you go by JANELLKINGSTOVER. And
Correct.
yeah, and I hope you had a great time on the show, Janelle.
Oh, I had a blast. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh,
And
you're
it's
most
been a
welcome.
pleasure talking with you and learning from you.
Yeah, very awesome. So for me, if you like the content, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, and hit the notification buttons. And that's it for this week. We'll catch you next week. Thanks.